Hey there, Dave Douglas with Music for Praise. This is the second actual lesson on the basics of music. The first one was on how to build a major scale. I gave you a formula called 2.5, 3.5, where you could go ahead and play a major scale, starting on any note. And if you need that lesson, go back and catch that. This one's on what we call intervals. Interval, what does interval mean? Interval simply means the distance between 2 points. This distance between here is an interval. Now, if I was walking, you could count the steps of the interval. In music, the intervals are different frequencies going from one to the next. And this would be an interval. There's distance between those two notes. There's distance between these two notes. There's distance between these two notes. And these two notes. There's distance between these two notes. That's the same note. Yeah, the distance is the same. So it's called unison. So what I'm going to give you is a lesson on what the intervals are on a major scale. I'm not going to deal with all the minor stuff yet, but I'm going to teach you a quick way for your ear to figure out what that interval is. And it's simple. This interval is a perfect unison, which means it's the same note. And I always attach songs to intervals. So a simple one, and you choose your own for all of these. These are the ones that I use. This is, it's row, row, row your boat. So row, row, those first two notes are a perfect unison. Okay, now the second one is called a major second. Major because it's part of the major scale. Okay, and this is a simple song that I use for a major second. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Are you? That's the first two. So when you do an ear test, and later on in music theory, if you take any college classes, they'll give you ear training. And they want to teach you how to figure out what those intervals are. So they'll go, and you'll think, are you sleeping? That's a major second. Major second. Okay, here's the next one. Oh, is a major third. 1, 2, 3. Major 3. And I use the Marine song, from the hills of Montezuma to the shores of da-da-da. Now, those of you in the younger generation, you'll make up your own songs. So whatever you think starts with that, use that. But I use Montezuma. So that's a major third. Now, we're going to get tricky. You ready? That is called a perfect fourth. Not going to get into technical reasons for that yet. I will, in the next video or two, try to explain why they're called perfect versus major. But the perfect fourth is a real easy one to remember because all of you that are aspiring to get married one day will probably use this. Here comes the bride, all dressed in white, okay? Here comes the bride. Perfect 4. The next one's a perfect 5. Again, we'll explain the perfect later. Perfect 5 is an easy one. Every kid knows this one. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle is a perfect 5. Ta-da. Okay, the next one is a major 6. Major, not perfect. Major 6 goes, my Bonnie lies over the ocean. My Bonnie, my Bonnie. Okay? So that's a major 6. A major 7, that's a little harder. I don't know of any song that really starts ba-bum. But there was one out of the South Pacific movie that went like this. Belly high. So that's the way we remember that. At least I do. Belly high. Okay, and then the perfect 8. Perfect 8. Somewhere over the rainbow. Perfect 8. Okay? Those are your major intervals for a major scale. 1 major second, major third, perfect 4, perfect 5, major 6, major 7, perfect 8. We got it. Okay? Next, I'll explain why they're called perfects and majors. Music for praise, again, make sure that you go over here and do the subscribe thing so you won't miss any of these as they come out. If you're trying to learn beginner music, you need to pay attention because I'm going to take you right down the road into some really cool stuff. Dave Douglas with Music for Praise. Subscribe!